Well, number 7 has to be You Chew with Your Mouth Open, right? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to 10 Things I Hate About You. This is a donation reward for Venom, so thank you as always, Venom. And yeah, we are on a bit of a Heath Ledger kick this week because we have another movie with him in it. We did Brokeback Mountain as part of our Pride special, and now we have this. So, I've heard of this movie for a long time, obviously. It's a movie I've just heard of, but I don't know what the actual plot is. I just know the movie exists. I've heard people mention it and everything in terms of rom-coms and whatnot. I don't even know who else is in it besides Heath Ledger. Because whenever I've heard people talk about it, it's just like, oh, the Heath Ledger rom-com movie. So it's like, I don't know what to expect with this. But that could be very interesting. Now, I've seen Heath Ledger in a number of different kinds of movies, because obviously Brokeback Mountain was a very notable romantic drama. It was a very serious movie. It had a little bit of comedy in it, but very little. It was very serious. It was very tense, very emotionally driven. But especially his character, Ennis, he was a very, like, serious character, too, who was dealing with a shit ton of trauma. Not drama. Well, drama too, but trauma is what I meant to say. But then you've also known, like, Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight, where he played the Joker. And that's like an entirely different kind of role, because he's goofy and silly and maniacal and psychotic and, a murderous clown. A very different kind of role. But then you also have him in A Knight's Tale, where that's a comedy movie, but it's very farcical. It's very satire focused, and it is just kind of poking fun at everything. And he's not a very serious character. He's kind of a goofball and whatnot, with a little bit of a prideful side to him. But he's definitely not super serious either. And it's like all of these roles are very different from each other. Knight's Tale, Dark Knight, Brokeback Mountain. And so now we have this. And I honestly kind of expect it to be very different in its own right as well. It kind of shows how Heath Ledger was kind of like this chameleon as an actor. He could kind of take on whatever the role needed him to. And it showed his immense, diverse talent. It makes it even sadder how untimely his passing was. How just taking on a certain role and taking it a little too far caused a lot of major problems and drug issues that he unfortunately fell to. Unfortunately, this kind of stuff does happen with a lot of celebrity life and celebrity culture, where you just take on too much and get overwhelmed with what it leads to. But he was definitely gone way too soon. He had so much to give. I have no doubts that if he had survived, he would have been in the MCU, for example. I have no doubts about that. He would have, like, been massive. And even for, like, the time he had and the roles he did have, he was a really big name. And he is really fondly looked back on. So I'm definitely excited to see how he portrays a role in this kind of movie. Like I said, I don't know anything about the story or the other cast members, so I don't know what else to really talk about in regards to any of that. So because of that, we're just going to kind of get right into it. But before we do, I do want to remind you all that we have a lot of great content to check out on this channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. And on Monday specifically, We also do YouTube or YouTube adjacent reactions, whether it be shorts or specials or mini series that just don't have a lot of episodes, or just YouTube videos. This slot is specifically for stuff like that, things that don't quite fit into a regular series or movie reaction. And speaking of movie reactions, we have those every Saturday and Sunday. I record them during the week, but we upload them on the weekends just so that every day has some kind of reaction content going on for it. We also have a couple Let's Plays currently running on the channel. Every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we're playing through Spider-Man 2. If you're new to checking out the Let's Play, I do want to warn you that the first 9 parts, especially 5 through 9, do have some audio sync issues. Unfortunately, was not something I was able to fix. It's due to the fact that this was my first Let's Play I've been recording with a capture card, first time ever doing so. So there were some things I had to figure out, and when I was doing the recording session for these parts, especially 5 through 9, I messed something up, and it's on me, but because of that, it's just something I wasn't able to fully fix with the audio sync. But as of part 10 and on, it's all good. I figured that out, got it fixed, and audio sync is completely fine from that point on. Should be no future issues, and the entire rest of the Let's Play will be good. We're also playing through Anno Mutationum on Saturdays, and this is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. If you want to know how to donate for a future PS5 Let's Play, all you have to do is go to the channel search, type in June Double Reward Month PS5, and it should take you right to the video. It'll tell you everything you need to know regarding how to donate for a Let's Play in the future. So, all of that being said, thank you so much as always and once again for tuning in. Let's get on with it. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction because yes, we do redirect all of our reactions on this channel. I understand you might not want to go to all of these different links to just to find the reaction, but thankfully it's only one. You just have to click the one link in the description below, and then it will take you straight to the reaction. You know how YouTube's copyright system is, it's shit, so because of that, I just want to try and avoid any possible channel strikes or, God forbid, a channel termination. Because I've dealt with that last one before, and I don't want to deal with it again. Because of that, we push all of the reactions onto another site just to be safe. Because of this, though, all of you, yes, I mean every single one of you, gets to see the full unedited reaction completely free. No paywalls, no Patreon, and you don't even have to sync up your own copy. I know not every reaction channel has the availability to be able to do that, and rightly so, fairly so, but I do pride myself on being able to give that all to you. So I hope you enjoy the full reactions because of that. And after you watch the reaction, you can come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after fades black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will not only contain spoilers to the movie in this case, but will also include just my general thoughts on it, stuff related to the channel maybe, that kind of thing. So, it's always worth checking out just to be safe. And I think that's pretty much it. So it's about time to get this going. Thank you as always for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I was looking some stuff up after I finished the reaction, and apparently the 2 bands that were in this were Letters to Cleo. This is the band that was at Club Skunk and that appeared at the end during the prom scene. But the first band at the prom scene was Save Ferris. Save Ferris is actually a band I know of. They did a cover of the classic song Come On Eileen that I think is actually one of the few times where the cover is better than the original. Dexy's Midnight Runners, their original version of Come On Eileen, is a classic for a reason. But Save Ferris just added new life to that song that I think is just amazing. I didn't even realize that was them, but I went back and looked at the scene. It's like, oh yeah, that's Save Ferris. I see that now. I just wasn't expecting it, so I just didn't put it together. This movie was bloody fantastic. I've talked before how I tend to enjoy romantic comedies. But I like them the most, I think, when they really lean into the comedy. I feel like there's a lot of rom-coms out there that lean more into the romance, and as such, the comedic aspect is more of a side note. A lot of times coming across as like second nature in the script. Nothing important. There will be a couple lines here that are funny, but it's more about the romance. I like it when a rom-com can actually get a better blend and actually puts the comedy on just as high of a level as the romance. This movie was so fucking funny. There were so many clever moments, so many just visual gags, audio gags, moments that were just kind of insane. There's so much like insanity in this movie. The guidance counselor and her erotic her erotic stories, the teacher being an absolute like psycho and being just kind of like I feel like any teacher who watched this movie saw that teacher and it's like, this is a dream. I wish I could say that kind of shit to my students. um Not to mention, it's just like there's just so many moments in this where it's just like it's trying to be a comedy. It's trying to be ridiculous and off the wall, but most of the humor isn't like vulgar or anything. It's not trying to be like overly sexual or crass or whatnot. The only moment that's kind of questionable with that is the flashing thing. But if we're being honest, that was kind of a trope in a lot of these teen rom-coms back in those days. I mentioned in the reaction the Amanda Bynes movie, She's the Man. That did that as well. If you don't know the movie, Amanda Bynes, her character is like pretending to be her brother. And at the end, to kind of prove when she's doing the big reveal, in order to prove it's really her, she flashes. And it's like, I've always been kind of uncomfortable with that trope because, it's like, even if the actor is an adult, they're playing a teenage character. And it's like, that basically means you're having a teenager flash someone. And it's like, yeah, teenagers have definitely done that in real life. And it's something that has happened, but you don't need to put that in your movies. It's a little inappropriate. Even if the actors are of age, it's weird to have like a teenage character flashing someone. I understand it was like in the context of this, it was a desperation thing. Like she was just desperate to like keep his attention and keep him from looking back at Patrick, who was trying to escape. But it's just like, still, it's one of the better ways it was used, I guess I could say. But still, it's just a thing that bothers me a little bit. But it's the only thing in this that I really had any issue with. Um, a lot of it, like, there's a lot of it that, let's be honest, is a little tropey, is a little, like, by the numbers. It's like, oh, dude is basically paid to be with her, and then it's revealed by the end, and he has to make it up to her. He has to reveal that, yeah, he was paid, but he did end up falling for her. That's, of course, been in a lot of different media. That's not a new concept by any means. And even when this came out, this came out in like 99. I don't think it was a new concept even then. Though apparently, it's funny that this movie mentions Shakespeare so often. This was apparently a modern retelling of The Taming of the Shrew, which I would not have caught because I read that like once Like compared to other Shakespeare stories like Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, etc., Hamlet, I haven't read that one anywhere near to the same level. Um, I read it once. Unlike Romeo and Juliet, which I've read a lot and seen a lot of different adaptions of, and I don't even remember everything with that most of the time. But I would have never guessed that. So that's really interesting too, because again, they mentioned Shakespeare so goddamn much in this. In fact, it literally one of the characters is obsessed with Shakespeare, and the one dude ends up going out with her because of it. Also, that one guy, the friend, uh, was David Krumholtz, who was Bernard in the Santa Claus, the elf Bernard. So that's fun fact. I feel like I saw his name in the credits and just didn't put that together, but it's like I feel like I should have because I know who David Krumholtz is. Um, so that's yeah, I just didn't put that together somehow. And yeah, the father was from Princess Diaries, as I mentioned and stuff. Again, though, like, there's a lot of tropes, but I don't think they're done like poorly necessarily. I don't think they're like most of them. I would not say are like subverted amazingly or anything. They're just kind of there. There are some that definitely feel like they feel like they work, like they've survived the test of time and everything. Watching this in 2024, over 2 decades after it came out, it's like it still feels somehow fresh in a way. Still feels like it's something that works, something that I can get behind, something that, especially for the comedic leanings of this film, I can dig. I can dig. Um, but yeah, it's like I think this just was really entertaining, and I think all the actors did a great job. Like all of them were believable, and I feel like their story arcs, their character arcs, could have been like had a little more time to grow, but I don't think it really ever bothered me too much. Like it was clearly like, oh, if you had like 20 to 30 minutes more, it would have been like perfect in terms of the growth their character arcs could have had. But for what it was, I think it was fine. I think they worked those arcs fine, and all of the characters did progress as characters, and we got to learn more about them. We got to see like why they were the way they were, and it all worked out. I kind of wish the one friend though, Bianca's friend, got like decked too, because she kind of turned into a bitch. If we're being honest, she kind of became a bitch by the end. At least Joey got his shit rocked. Like that's satisfying. But yeah, it's like this was really good. Like surprisingly, really good. I thought it was gonna maybe be like okay, but the charm of the actors, the amazing music in it, like the music was like just nonstop hits. And on top of that, you had just the humor and the fun the cast seemed to be having with this. It's like this was just an absolute like blast. I had a great time watching this. I'm very very pleased with this one. And it just makes me miss Heath Ledger so much more. I'm gonna keep harping about that because he was just so young when he died, and he was such an amazing actor. Everything I've seen him in has been like awesome. I absolutely fucking love A Knight's Tale. He's amazing as the Joker in Dark Knight, and it's like now you have this as well. It's so disappointing and sad that he passed when he did. That his role as the Joker took such a toll on him and, like, just ended up causing his untimely passing. It really sucks. Like I said, I have no doubt he would be like one of the biggest names in Hollywood right now, if it weren't for his passing. Especially after how well The Dark Knight did and how well received his role in that was. He would have been massive. He would have been getting so many roles after that. Um, but yeah, this was great. Brokeback Mountain too. I forgot to mention that earlier. I was mentioning all these Heath Ledger roles. I didn't even mention Brokeback Mountain at that point. But yeah, that too. It's just like I have not seen a movie with him in it that I have disliked. I mean, that's pretty high praise, I would say. He had such a charm about him. Such a charm. So yeah, this movie this movie was just an absolute blast. I had so much fun. But I want to hear what you think. So tell me in the comments below, what are your thoughts on 10 Things I Hate About You? And before we go, I do want to real quick remind you that we have a lot of great content on the channel. Plethora of awesome series reactions every Monday through Friday. And on Mondays, we also do YouTube, or at least YouTube adjacent reactions. Anything that does not quite fit in with regular full series or movie reactions. And speaking of movie reactions, we have those every Saturday and Sunday. They are pre-recorded during the week, uploaded on the weekend. We also have a couple Let's Plays we're currently going through. On Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, we're playing through Spider-Man 2. That's been a lot of fun. And on Saturdays, we are going through Anno Mutationum, which is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. If you want to know how to donate for future PS5 Let's Plays, go to the channel search, and type in June Double Reward Month PS5. It should take you right to the correct video, and that will tell you everything you need to know regarding how to donate for a future PS5 Let's Play. So, that all being said, thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. Like I said, let me know your thoughts down below, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.